again to another episode of Ron's Opinion Don't Matter. Oh boy. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. God is good. God is good. God is good. Yes, he is. Yes, he's good. Oh boy. Well, yeah, welcome again to Ron's Opinion Don't Matter. Hit that like and subscribe button. All that good stuff. Appreciate it. Appreciate it if you did. But yeah, man. Yeah, we at that moment now. Election day is getting very close. Very, very close. November the 5th is fast approaching. And hopefully we can put this mess out of office. But yeah. Man. Hopefully y'all got to see the JD Vance and Tim Walz debate. And it was all right. JD Vance is vicious, man. He's a beast. He was kicking. He was just like, boop, man, chop. That's what it was like watching him get down. I gotta give my man JD Vance some credit. He was going in. Hey, what's up, Chris? For real? How you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah, JD Vance was going in. He was going in hard. He was putting in that work. Man, just so y'all know that, yeah, he's a beast. Just so y'all know, there's a delay in these videos for some reason. It's never. I guess it's never gonna go away. But I appreciate everyone that's here. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. You know what I mean, hanging there with a brother. This election, man, is how can I put this? It's unique. So it's unique. I like what I seen with JD Vance. I like how he handled himself. He stayed very poised. He was very straightforward and right to the point. And this is the reason why I tell people that I sometimes I wish JD Vance was the one doing all the talking. When I went to the event they had for him when he was running with Trump vice president, when he came to Philly, when I went there, and that was the first time I actually heard him speak. Outside of just and I was impressed. And then I realized at that point, I was like, man, he's very articulate and he knows how to get his point across. He's very clear on what he's saying for the most part. But there's a lot of stuff, man. With that debate it was a behind whooping. It was a behind whooping, basically what it is. Tim Walz is lost. It's one thing to say Kamala Harris is stupid and don't have it all up here, but he ain't too bright up there neither. And I'm like, somebody elected these people to run something. I'm dead serious. Like, at the end of the day, these people are elected officials somewhere else, and I don't even understand how that happened. Like, we as American citizens, we is flipping when it comes to the people we choose. Because if that dude was running anything, I don't see how. I just don't see how. I just don't see how. I guess it was probably. I'm gonna try to repeat what he said, but I guess it was a slip of the tongue. But at one point, he said he was friends with the shooters, the school shooters. Like, it was just like I was like, I was halfway in and out of sleep. I mean, I was awake, but I was like tired and stuff. So I'm like, did he just say he was friends with school shooters? With the school? It was just weird. I gotta go back and look at see if I can catch some in the video or whatever. I'm like, bro, you all right? Oh man, I just don't get how these people got the jobs that they got. But it is what it is. What you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? It is what it is. I just don't understand how they got the job they got. But Kamala Harris, man, I've had people ask me about the election, And I've had people ask me about what I think about this, what I think about that. And once I started talking to them about the Democratic side, and because most of us as Black African American, we have supported the Democratic Party throughout the years for a long time. And unfortunately, we were very uneducated on what was really going on with the Democratic Party. We really did not pay attention to the things that are the most obvious in our sight. Number one, if you look at all of the cities that they're running, they're the biggest mess that America has. But yet, they'll sit there and keep pandering like they're the ones doing all the good democracy and all the other stuff, but they're full of crap. Why is it that everywhere y'all run is the mess? The crime, dilapidated buildings, everything that y'all run is where the mess at. But here's what no one pays attention to. Everywhere they run is a mess, but all of the Democratic politicians are extremely wealthy. That's the part that makes me kind of like, what are y'all doing? Yes, yes, yes. Trump 2024, make America great again. I know Kamala wants, yeah, you're right. She wants to debate Trump again. I don't see the point. I didn't see the point of Trump debating her the first time. I didn't see no reason for it. Because my thing is this, if you're not going to do it fairly, then it's the point of doing it. It's like me going to play a football game and I already know that all the referees is going, that like all the other team. All right, so I'm already destined to lose, or I have to be extremely better in order to take the referee's decision out of that game and win it based on my extreme performance because the referees are already trying to make it so that they win. That's what I feel about those debates. That's why I just wish that Trump didn't do none of them at all. I mean, for me, he didn't have to debate nobody. He already had my vote. Not only did he have my vote, I was out there, I'm still out there whenever I have time to, and it's trying to promote and, and explain to people why Trump is the best choice, by far the best choice in America for a president. So I was, I don't care how nobody feels about it. That was just me. And when you look at Kamala Harris and her record under Joe Biden, his record, their record. They are the ones that has made all of these bad choices. They're the ones that decided to stop the drilling. They're the ones that decided to get rid of the pipeline. They're the ones that decided to send all the money, all of the oil to China because they wanted to push this electric car agenda. They're the ones that was making these decisions. And not one time did they look and say, you know what, maybe this is not good for America. And then after that, they didn't even care if it was. They didn't care what damage it would have done to the American citizens. They didn't care. They were like, we don't care. We don't care. And they still kept pushing and pushing and pushing until it got so bad that they had to reverse course. Now, they recently started reversing course, going back to some of the ideas and things that Trump was already doing. My thing is this. Kamala Harris is trying to say she's going to do this. Why are you not doing it? And that's the part that I like about with that debate yesterday with J.D. Vance, is that he kept hammering in, if you was going to do the stuff that you're saying you're going to do, which really is the stuff she's saying she's going to do is stupid. But if you was going to do any of that, you had 4 years to do it, and you didn't. If you was going to fix the economy, you had 4 years to do it, and you didn't. If you was going to close the border, you had 4 years to do it, and you didn't. If you was going to do anything that you're talking about doing, you didn't. You didn't even try to do it. Now, here's the thing about this is that, and they keep talking about she was the vice president. She was the vice president. You're right. She was the vice president. And here's my point to this. And someone made a good point to me yesterday that I didn't even think of myself. But this is here's my point to if she was vice president. If you knew as vice president the decisions that Joe Biden was going to make was going to be detrimental to America, why didn't you not stand against it? Why didn't you vote against it? Why didn't you turn around and say, Joe Biden, that's not good for America? Why? You didn't. You know what you did? You kept going in the same course that he was going. So you're just as liable for the decisions that he made as he is. My thing is this. Why didn't you? Why you didn't say, I'm not doing that, Joe? No, we're not doing it. That's going to hurt America. That's going to damage America. That's going to raise inflation. That's going to raise interest rate. That's going to do this. That's going to do that. You didn't fight against none of it. That means you was a 100% agreement with whatever decision that Joe Biden made. And then there was times where you were the deciding vote and you voted in line with them. So you are 100% responsible for the conditions that we are currently living in. You can't escape that. And my thing is this: if you don't have enough balls, I know you're a female, but so to speak, if you don't have enough authority or confidence or whatever way you want to spin it to stand against your very own party, against Joe Biden and your party, against what you know that is right or wrong, if you really didn't know that this was going to be damaging to America, how are you going to stand up against Putin and these other countries that might want to bring the smoke to America? You can't even stand against Joe Biden and your party right here in America. You haven't stood against none of it. So make that make sense. You say, "Oh, I'm not." No, you're not. You didn't have enough in you to see that this what they were going to do was a bad idea, bad choice, detrimental to America, and you still stayed course. You voted in line with them. You voted in line to tax tips. You voted in line to keep funding Ukraine. You voted in line to open up the border. You voted in line with all the destruction that's coming to America, and now you want to try to act like there is something in you that says you're a bona fide leader. There is nothing leadership about you, Kamala Harris. Sorry, none. And if you really felt that way, and if you really thought that way, you would have voted against them and you would have stood against them, but you didn't. And see, that's what makes us like Trump a lot more than you realize, is because he stood against the politicians when he seen what they were doing was wrong for America. And that's the reason why the Democratic Party and all of these politicians have a problem with him, because he's not a threat to democracy. He's a threat to what they're doing, which is robbing the American citizens of their wealth and their work and their hard work by taxing you out of the game. That's it. The Democratic Party is one to tax and regulate your lifestyle and control your lifestyle, so where you're not getting any benefit from all the hard work that you're doing, and now you're just a modern day slave. And we, especially in the black community who has been voting Democrat for years, are falling for the same track over and over again. We refuse to escape the slavery of the Democratic Party. They telling you that you will never be able to vote other than Democrat. They telling you, because why? You looking at you living in, let's say, the city of Philadelphia. You're living in the city of Philadelphia, ran by a Democratic mayor over and over and over. All of the Democratic Party in there. What do I think about him people calling him racist? And we know Trump is not racist. There's too much history with Trump, not just with black people, with all races of people. If they felt as though he was racist, why, historically, when you look at television, he's been on all of these different shows. He's been on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air show. He's been on Oprah Winfrey show many a times. He had his own show, The Apprentice. There were black people on his show. He has helped black people throughout the years. He has supported Jesse Jackson's campaign financially. I don't know real racists to do stuff like that. When, again, Jennifer Hudson family went through what they went through, he housed their family, gave them a safe place to hang out just in case somebody was trying. That's what and these people are black. So we know 100% that Trump is not a racist. So I don't even know where they got that from, why they try to spin it that way. But, people going to listen to the news. They're going to listen to CNN and say, oh, he's a racist. No, he ain't. And I don't hear it as much as I used to hear it. But what I hear now is that he's a threat to democracy. That's the new one. He's a threat to democracy. He's a threat to democracy. That's the new one they're coming up with, because they notice that the racist thing isn't working anymore. So they're trying to spin it into, oh, he's a threat to democracy. But which one of y'all has been under any threat running as a politician? Any physical threat? None. The only person running through a physical threat is Trump. Why? Because ain't no citizens out here. It is not one citizen out here that wants to put out a hit on Trump or try to find a way to. It's money. People who got money trying to do it. That tells you that there's crime that they're doing and they don't want him to be able to stop it. There's corruption going on in government and they don't want him to be able to stop it. They don't want him to get into power to be able to put a stop to the corruption in government. That's what that's all about. The citizens have zero to worry about when Trump, matter of fact, it's going to be good for the citizens. If you're a citizen of the United States right now, it's going to be good for you. When Trump wins that election, he's back in office, it's going to be good for you. It's going to be great for you. Now, it's going to take time to get things rolling, but when it gets rolling, it's going to be great for you. Why? Because everything that he's doing is trying to allow you to be the one to make decisions with your money. Not pay all of these taxes, pay all of these regulations, pay all of this stuff, and let government decide to waste your money on the stuff that they've been wasting it on for years. Giving it to other countries, fighting y'all in these wars, giving it to lazy people that don't want to get up and go to work. That's what they're doing. And why would you keep supporting that? Why would you keep supporting that? Why would you keep continuously supporting that type of behavior? That type of stuff that comes out of government. I don't understand. Why would you do it? I'm dead serious. Why would anybody do that? I'm not doing it. I stopped, once I really dug into this and I realized what was going on. I know 100% Trump's not perfect. It's not about Trump being perfect or he's the answer to all. No, it's not about that. And I know some people be like, oh, y'all just act like we know he got flaws. We know he's not perfect. We know that some of the stuff come out of his mouth is, a little rough, which I like the fact that he talks the way he talks. Other people, when I say J.D. Vance, it's because I know how other people look at words and how people talk. I don't like people who talk, try to make everything sound more complicated. And no, talk to me straight. Let yes be yes and no be no. You ain't got to give me all of these fancy words. Because usually when you hear people talk like that, they're really not saying nothing. They really ain't saying nothing. If you record what they said and you go back and you start to listen to it, it's like, they really didn't even say anything. If you go back and look at Obama's speeches, when he was running, you're going to find out that a lot of what he was saying, he really wasn't saying nothing. He really wasn't. But because of the way we are and the way we think of politics and the way we look at politics, most people vote for who they like, not who is right. And that's the truth of the matter. They vote for who they like as opposed to voting for who is right. I don't have to like the politician if I know he's right for the job. That's the reality of it. And when I say being right for the job, is that I don't want countries to think that we soft. I don't want other countries to think they could just truck over us like that. I want somebody that knows how to do it. And another thing is I want this country to be ran like it should be ran. Meaning that I want the people to rule. I don't want nobody thinking they're kings and rulers and want to censor this and censor that and control speech and control whether you able to have a gun. I don't want no politician like that. I don't care what side of the spectrum you're on. Whenever you start talking about censoring people, whenever you start talking about controlling people, when you start talking like that, to me, you are the dictator. And never once did I hear Trump talk about controlling nobody. I never hear him say he wanted to censor speech. I never hear him say anything out of his mouth that relates to dictatorship. It's other people putting words there that's saying he wants to be a dictator. Nobody in their right mind, a dictator is not going to try to cut taxes because that means you're going to have more freedom in your money to do whatever you want to do with your money. Dictators ain't going to do that. Dictators are not going to cut taxes. Dictators are going to try to do everything they can do to bankrupt you and keep you under their thumb of control. And the way the Democratic Party do it is they regulate everything to put their thumb under your control and make you think that they're doing something for you when they're really not. So all of these cars that they make and all of these regulations, and I'm not saying we need to get rid of all regulation, but the Democratic Party in Washington has been regulating companies out of business, and that's why they run somewhere else so they don't have to deal with that. Simple as that. And they make it so complicated for any business to thrive in America that they run to other countries and say, why would it be cheaper for them to go to another country than send it over here and sell it over here? But do all the manufacturing and everything over there. Why? Because of the regulations that they have over in America. Washington has been detrimental to American citizens and the decision making that they have been doing. has been detrimental to the American. That's it. It's Washington. And that's why you need people like Trump who don't play the game of big business in there. And she says, Kamala Harris says, oh, he's going to give tax breaks to the billionaires. First of all, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? If he's going to give tax breaks to us and give tax breaks to them, billionaires pay paychecks. And that's the truth in America. They run companies. And if their business is struggling to survive because of high taxes and high regulations, then if you do that and you make it more business friendly, they're more likely to survive and stay and provide jobs for people in that community. Otherwise, they're going to run off. They're going to take their bright ideas somewhere else. They're going to take their innovation somewhere else. They're not going to do it here in America because it's not going to be worth it to them. Nobody in their right mind is going to go do a business and they're going to realize that I could make money if I wasn't overtaxed. I could make money and keep people working if I wasn't overregulated. Then I can make money. But instead of having to deal with that, I'll go somewhere else and make my money over there and just send it to America. And that way it's more profitable for me. And that's it. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you? People say all of that stuff, but when it comes to their pocket, they have a different attitude. It's just like when people say, oh, I'm okay with people coming across the border. No, you're not. You full of crap when you say it. Well, I'm okay with people coming across the border. Why? No, you're not. No, you're not. You're okay with it because it ain't hit your door. But once it hits your community and hits your door and it's right in at your doorstep, then you ain't okay with it. Because these very same people will question a new face in their community. Who that? Where they come from? And low-key be watching them like, oh, well, I don't know. I want to make sure they, decent people. And there's people that's American citizens. So there's no way in the world you could be okay with people just coming across the border and you don't scrutinize who they are. How you don't scrutinize that? I'm not going to let anybody walk in my house. I'm going to scrutinize. No, you ain't just walk in my house. And to me, letting somebody walk across that border is the same as letting somebody that you don't know walk into your house. It's no difference. It's just my house, but the border is my country. And I don't want nobody just walking across in this country and we don't know who they are. And we paying people like the president and all of the other people to make sure that don't happen, but they're not doing their job. They're just letting it happen. How are you okay with that? You shouldn't be. They just letting it happen. It's wrong. You shouldn't just let people walk in your country. You can't go walk in other countries like that. I guarantee you. They're gonna no, we ain't do that. And that's it. The same way you would be about your house is the same way the president should be about this country. Don't just let anybody walk over here. So none of what they're doing is making sense. And if Kamala Harris had any intentions of fixing the border or stopping all the fluctuation, you don't need a bill to do that. You're the president of the United States and you're the vice president of the United States. Both of y'all could have, Joe Biden said, no, we need to shut that down and just shut it down. If you, even to the point, if you had to send the military to stop the invasion, because that's what it is, send them down there to go to put in the work to make sure that invasion don't come happen. Now we got the problem in the country. Now somebody else had to come back and clean up your mess. Because this is a mess that should not happen. And then you're fentanyl and all of this crime. America got its own crime. Now we're dealing with other criminals. Now you have brought in other criminals from other countries over here. Now we got to deal with our criminals and their criminals. Make that make sense. Why would you even do that? Why would you even do that? It don't even make sense. Why would you do that? It's crazy. But like I say all the time, Trump 2024, let's make America great again. Let's all get out there and vote for Trump. Vote down Republican line as much as you possibly can. I'm not saying I would prefer technically for you to pay more attention to the Republican and the Democrat. But my thing is this, the Democrats don't even care what the bill is. They all agree on the same thing. This is how they get away with it. When you look at how they vote, they all vote the same way. So they don't even have to know what they vote, like what somebody else is going to vote. They only have discussion. They just all vote the same way. We disagree, let's vote that we disagree. That's what they do. They do not care what is beneficial to American citizens and what is not. They vote the same way down their party lines. Why? Because they all want to make sure that they continue to line their pockets with wealth. And that's why they keep voting that way. And you got a few Republicans that ride that train too. But for the most part, it's the Democratic Party. And you had to be crazy to keep voting for these people. Because you tell me where the Democratic Party's voters, where are they thriving at in America? Where are the Democratic Party voters? Where are they as a community and as a neighborhood thriving better than most citizens in America? Show me where they thriving at. As the Democratic Party, you go to the places where Democratic voters are, show me where they thriving. Show me. In America, where a majority of Democratic voters are thriving. Because they're not. Because the Democratic Party and the Democratic politicians, the mayors and all of them, they are robbing their citizens blind, and it's without a gun. They're doing it. Because guess what? None of them are living in the mess that they're creating for you. When they were sending these illegals over here, and they sent them to Martha's Vineyard, where Obama and all of them live at, I guess, they packed them up and shipped them out to Chicago and Philadelphia. They don't want that for them. They want it for you. They don't care. When Texas sent them up there, as soon as they got up their bus, they racked them right back on them buses and sent them to what they call sanctuary cities or whatever, asylum-seeking cities or whatever they call it. My thing is this: why didn't they keep them there? Why didn't they leave them in there? Why didn't they take them into their homes? Why didn't they house them in the way they stay at? They don't want it for them. They want it for you because they don't care about you. But yet you'll continue to vote for them. They flushed them in your neighborhood. They took up all your resources. Now New York is sitting in $1 billion of deficit, have $1 billion of deficit. Chicago is another one, $1 billion deficit. Why? Because the illegal immigration has consumed up all the resources that were supposed to be for you as a citizen. How's that right? And they still not holding themselves accountable for it. They acting like it don't exist. They talking like it don't exist. Everything that they doing is consuming up all the resources that were supposed to be for American citizens, and they acting like it don't exist and doing their people dirty. And that's why I say abandon the Democratic Party, get away from them, don't vote for them. You need to start looking into this stuff a lot more deeper, and you're gonna find out that they're more corrupt than you realize. And I always call them out, and I don't care until they do. Until they start thinking. Until they get to the point where it's we the people first, America first. We need never to vote for them, and we need to show them through our vote that we're done with them. We're done with them, and this is the reason why you hear. This is the reason why you hear. You're right, Chris Royal. They don't care about us, and this is the reason why you hear a lot of Hollywood. People from Hollywood and stuff, they all keep talking about, oh, if Trump wins, I'm leaving the country. If he wins this election, we're leaving the country. You know why they say they're going to leave the country? Because they know that Trump wins, that they're going to probably be found out like P. Diddy. And he might go after them for the sex trafficking and whatever they're involved in. Because my thing is this, he was already there for 4 years. So I know he's not trying to be a dictator because everything that he did doesn't represent dictatorship. He actually turned out to be a very good, great leader. He made your money go further. He made a lot of good decisions that incited this economy, and it was booming. Booming. And then the Democratic Party kicked in that COVID stuff, and they ain't going to try to turn around, we all lost all his jobs. No, y'all didn't. No, we didn't. None of that job. It was a shutdown, and all these jobs went back. Everybody went back to work. But again, they played the game, and they tried to do it slickly. But at the end of the day, we see what you did. And it was all a scam. It was all a scam to try to take this election, the 2020 election. My thing is this, and all of the fake votes and all of that stuff. And listen, I was never on that train. I was just like, I don't care. He lost. It is what it is. But then when I started looking into it, I'm like, oh, wow. I'm like, how in the world did Joe Biden get more votes than Obama? That don't even make sense. Even if you take Trump out of the equation, there's no way in the world Joe Biden is more popular than Obama. Obama's social media probably has over 100 million followers. Joe Biden didn't have nowhere near that. So where are these voters at? Where's the 81 million people that voted for Joe Biden? Where they at? Because they don't exist. They don't. There's no way in the world Joe Biden got more votes than Obama. And I'm not a fan of Obama, and I really never was. But I know he had extreme popularity. So there's no way in the world. What's up, Mike? What's going on, brother? Trump 2024. Yeah, there's no way in the world that Joe Biden got way more votes than Obama. That don't even add up. That's why I know for a fact that this election was rigged. It was something going on. Okay, yeah, talk that talk. Yeah, it was something going on. It was something going on. I mean, I've seen videos and I've seen information that was put out there to show you how they rigged it and how they stole the election. And it was very, what do you want to call it? It was very, they didn't like overstate what they were the point that they were trying to make. And I agree. And I like the fact that they did not try to overstate it because they left a whole lot of gray in there. They left a whole lot of space in there to say, okay, just on this thing, we know they stole the election. We're not even going to get into the deep meat of it. We're just going to do it from this larger scale, and we can see from there they stole the election. But, and then they keep trying to bring it out. Oh, he didn't do this. Nah, listen, y'all stole the election. It is what it is. I mean, and we moved on from it. And then they going to try to bring up this January 6th. Like, nobody in America is talking about January 6th. Why y'all keep bringing that up? And then they're going to try to say that he didn't incite. No, he didn't. The minute they asked him that, he pulled out the tweet that he had. He pulled the tweet out and said, look, this is what I said. This is what Trump said on January 6th. Protest peacefully and patriotically. How was that causing an insurrection? But Maxine Waters was out there talking about tear it up when that George Floyd stuff was going on. And a lot of the other Democrats was out there talking about tear up, rip up, tear up, and tear up. And they was inciting it. And none of them went to jail for it. None of them got indicted for it. None of them got prosecuted for it. And every last one of them did that. When George Floyd, Black Lives Matter, ain't none of them go to jail. And look at all of the cities and the people that died from that. But none of them in jail for that. And that's why I say it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. It don't make sense at all. And the crazy part is, and like I said, if Kamala Harris don't have enough gall and don't have enough to stand up against her own party when they make dumb decisions, how's she going to stand up against Putin? She didn't stand up against none of the party when they was making these dumb decisions for the last 4 years, destroying America. So how's she going to stand up against Putin and his decision? Or any one of these countries? Because it's not in it. It's not in it. And the stuff that she mentioned about trying to fix the economy is only going to make it worse. The way you fix the economy, and I say this to anyone that asks me, the number one thing you do to fix this economy is to drive down energy costs. When you drive down energy costs, make energy more affordable, everything else follows. Because there's only so far a company can lower prices to compete with other companies to where they're giving it away for free, and they ain't trying to do that. So in order for them to be able to compete and lower prices, you got to lower energy costs. You lower energy costs, and if you want to lower insurance costs, you got to lower the cost of repairs on houses. And the insurance costs, the reason why insurance is going up so much, because there you got all these illegals driving cars tearing up everywhere, causing all accidents all over the place. The reason why houses are going up and insurance on houses are going up because house fires, illegal immigration coming in there, living in houses, squatting in houses, landlords got to raise more money, and the insurance companies are not getting the money they want, but they're used to get because a lot of people probably ain't even paying for homeowners insurance at this point because they probably can't afford it. So what do? They say, you know what? I'm just going to deal with the fact that I can't afford it. So the insurance company, the homeowners insurance, they just start raising the rates in the community and stuff. Why? Because the property values are inflated. None of these houses that people are buying for the prices they're buying for are worth these prices. So insurance companies are raising them up based on the value of these properties. But these property values are inflated. I'm telling you firsthand that these property values that they putting out there are inflated. They're not right. These houses are not worth the money that the people are buying them for. They're not. I'm looking at some of the houses, I see what people pay for. I say, man, they gotta be out of their mind. They're not worth that money. But because of the cost of living and because of everything being so expensive, the person selling the house got to sell it that high because they probably in the red with it too. So they're like, oh, I got to try to sell a house as much as I can just to make a profit. Because the money that they making profit off the house, the taxes and stuff like that, they're going to bang them and they're going to get caught up in that. They're going to have to pay a lot of taxes on the profit. So people don't realize how hard it is to make it in America because of all of these regulations and all of these dumb decisions that these Democratic politicians keep making. They just driving everything, the cost of everything up. And then the thing about it is they're not holding these companies. Some of these people are not being held, these companies are being held to a standard, like a real standard. They worrying about bullcrap, not a real standard. When you make stuff in America, there should be pride in that. It should be pride in that. But now it's like nothing. There is no pride in the stuff that we make anymore. And here's the thing: even the stuff we get from other countries and stuff like that is junk to me. A lot of it is junk. But it should be when you making something, you building something, should be some pride in it. And you just don't see it no more. Everything is just fast, quick, and throw it together. And then charge somebody $400,000 for a fancy stack of wood, which they call a house. That's what they charging you, $400,000 for a fancy stack of wood. And I look at the material that they make out of these houses, and I'm like, there's no way in the world I would buy them. You paying all of that money for a fancy stack of wood. That's what it is. There's no quality in that house. $400,000 for a house that looks like that. I kid you not, after about 10 years, you're going to be dumping another $30,000 to $40,000 in repairs in this house because that's how fast it's going to start falling apart. Anybody that owns a house long enough, they're going to be like, man, these houses just, they're not built with quality no more. Because quality lasts. That's what it is. They don't want it to last. They want it to fall apart so they can keep the industry rolling and keep making all this money from you. They made money off the house, and now they want you to keep repairing the house, and they're going to make money off of that too. And that's why they keep all these prices of food. Prices of these products. The material to buy and build these houses is off the roof. Don't make no sense. And you watch when they build these new houses, and you see how fast they throw them up, and you see the material that they use, and they're like, okay, starting at $415,000. And I'm like, I look at them like, man, but there's no brick. Where's the brick? Where's the bricks? $400,000 for a fancy stack of wood with some plastic around the outside of it? Where's the brick? Where's the stone? It's not there. And they want you to pay all this money for it. You gotta be crazy. You gotta be crazy. And, I'm not going to be on this live too much longer, but I just want to say, hopefully for those that watched the debate and saw the behind whooping that J.D. Vance gave to Tim Walz, and I was highly impressed. I didn't know who J.D. Vance was when Trump picked him, but after, watching him speak and watching him, I'm so glad that he picked him. I wasn't too sure about him. I was like, I don't know this dude. I wanted Byron Donalds. I was looking at some other ones with Vake. But then he just kind of came sideways. I'm like, oh, okay. But then after a while, he went to work. I said, okay, now I see why Trump picked him. And I'm glad he did. Trump had a lot of good picks. I ain't going to say he had a lot of good picks. But I'm glad he picked him. And J.D. Vance was holding his own, even though he was being pretty much the ones that was on there, the ones that they was on it, they was fact-checking him, but they wasn't trying to fact-check Kamala. They never once tried to fact-check her on anything. And they didn't, I'm talking about Tim Walz. They didn't try to fact check him neither. I don't get that. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I get it, but I don't get it. How are y'all going to say y'all want to talk about democracy and being fair and, having, letting people make the choice when you guys are trying to dictate and shift the way people see each other, the candidates? Because, y'all don't fact check the Democratic Party on it. What are y'all so scared of the Democratic Party? What they got on y'all? But that they don't make it don't make sense. What type of tape and information they got on y'all that all of y'all are doing the same thing? It doesn't make it don't make sense. You mean to tell me there's no more honesty in the news reporters? They don't know how to be fair no more? Your boss is telling y'all to do that stuff and y'all okay with it? Where y'all standards at? Y'all know it's wrong and y'all doing it anyway. Y'all don't care. It's crazy. I'm watching these debates with him and Trump, and Kamala and J.D. Vance and Tim Walz. I'm like, wow. Like, y'all doing this in our face and y'all don't even, I guess democracy don't matter to y'all. Y'all just want to say Trump is one, but y'all, everything y'all doing is wrong. Y'all not fact. We all know that the stuff that Kamala was saying was lies. Like she talked about Project 2025. And I'm like, that has nothing to do with Trump. Zero to do with Trump, but they didn't fact check on it. But yet they keep talking about it. She kept saying, oh, Trump wants to ban abortion. Trump didn't say that. He said he wanted to get, but they didn't fact check. But my thing is this, is that you have to do your own homework. You got to do your own research. You got to get out of the smoke and mirror. And you can't look at one party and say, oh, I'm supporting this. Nobody should vote for somebody because they're a female. That's just stupid. And I'm telling you like this. No, and this is where I'm going to piss a lot of people off. I don't think no woman should be running this country. Sorry, I just don't. We got too many other threats over here, and they need to see a man in that place. That's just how I personally see it. That's my personal opinion. I think as a country as a whole, we should always have men running our country, not women. Because other countries don't respect it like that. And they ain't going to. And that's opportunity for them. And that's the way they're going to take it. Y'all, most people might like, oh, you being sexist. I don't care. I really don't. It's just how I feel. I think women are great for a lot of things. I think women are wonderful. I think they are. I have nothing but respect for them. But when it comes to the leadership of this country, I want a man. I want a manly man to represent our country. That's it. I want men that are masculine men representing our country. That's what I want. I don't want nothing else there. I don't want no fragile man. I don't want no woman there. I want a manly man. I want somebody that got man up in him and intimidating enough to say, we ain't fooling around with that. Because these other countries ain't going to sit there and they're not going to do that. When Kamala Harris went to Africa and tried to tell them to do all of that gay stuff or whatever, they was like, man, get out of here with that. You ain't doing that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say they did it because they didn't listen to her because she was a female. But my thing is this, it doesn't matter. They weren't going to respect it either way. They laughed at it. And if you've seen the stuff that the African people were saying after they was going, like, what is that? What is that? They're not doing that. They stood up against her. And what is she going to do? What's she going to do? They ain't nothing she going to do. Because at the end of the day, they don't respect that. And I'm not saying that a man in that situation would have went in there and made them change their mind. But men respect men that are men. And other countries have men running their countries. Now, if every country out there had a woman run their country, then I'd be probably a little more on board with it. But men respect men. And they respect real men. They ain't playing that game. And there's a lot more at stake than just, oh, we represent this country. There's wars that break out. And what people don't realize is men understand war very, very well. And if you're not prepared to deal with that type of situation when it arises and see it for what it is, sorry, that's something that men been doing forever. We've been fighting wars forever. I'm not saying women never fought no wars, but men been fighting them. They've been fighting and dying in them. And that's what you want representing the company, a manly man. Sorry, that's what I'll say, a manly man. Masculinity, intelligent, a beast, threatening type looking man to make sure that we're represented the way we need to be. I'm not talking about no crazy man, somebody off the wall and just buck wild. No, I'm not talking about that. But anybody that's a real man know what I'm talking about. You don't have to act like a fool or act crazy to be threatened. You just got to be firm in your decision making and know what you're doing. And then most people respect that. They'll respect it. And ain't like I said, this is nothing against women. It just, as a country, I just think some things should be left to men. And I think as our leadership in that position should be left to men. Sorry, it's just how I feel about it. And it's okay if you don't like it. It's okay if you feel some kind of way. I'm 100% okay with that. You have a right to feel that way. And that's okay. It's just my personal opinion. I feel as though there's some things should be left for men, and that is one of them. Is the president of the United States should be a man. Sorry, just the way I feel. I look at too much outside of it, and I'm just like, eh. And I didn't always feel this way. Years back, I probably wouldn't have cared one way or the other. But now it's like, no, it's too much at stake right now, and I think we need men. I think we need a man in that position. Sorry, it's just it make more sense to me the older I get, and I get why. And like I said, it's nothing against women. I just disagree with that one because we got other countries that they waiting for opportunity. They are licking their lips right now. They're like, yes, all we need. We was able to do all the stuff that we did when they got the Joe Biden in there because they knew his cognitive and he just not there. They he already has dementia or whatever it is that's going on with him, and they know mentally he's not there. So they knew they could do whatever they wanted to do with Joe Biden there because he ain't built like that. He don't have it in him. So that's why they went to work as soon as he got in office. They already seen what they saw. They said, oh, we ain't got nothing to worry about. He all talk. He ain't gonna do nothing. He all talk. Ain't built like that. And then what happened? All these wars started breaking out. All this stuff started happening. That's why you need real men doing that job. Manly men. And, at the end of the day, like I'm ready to get off this live. I want to say God bless every single one of y'all. Like and hit that subscribe button. Like I always say, if you don't have anything I say, don't even matter. If you don't have Christ in your life, that is number one. Get him in your life. He is offering you eternal life. If you give your life to him, and he is a life changer. And I'm 100% experienced that throughout my life. And I want you to know that Jesus loves you. I love y'all. Peace. Have a wonderful day.